Hello and welcome back to another One Piece card game. Today it will be me on the left playing Enel and a friend of mine playing Red Purple Law on the right at our local game store. Been liking the variety in decks that we've been seeing recently. Red Purple Law is a new one to the channel. I've been on the fence between Purple Luffy and Yellow Enel on which one is my favorite. So I want to know what's your guys' favorite decks for OP-05? I can't decide, but I do think this Red Purple Law deck is actually really cool. I did win the die roll and I decided to go first because I want to be able to drop Gadatsu when he plays a 4-cost or lower character. Because I know this Law likes to spit those out with the leader ability, which is -3 Don. You can bottom deck a 3k or less, and then you get to play a 4-cost character or less from your hand. So knowing that, I did put Holly down on my first turn. I know he can easily remove this, but I have to play something. Either he has the removal or he doesn't. But looking at his hand though, I can see that he does have an Otama, so at bare minimum he could easily remove this Holy and just, you know, get on with his turn. I do know he's gonna just spam bodies here, but I do have the Gadatsu in hand to hopefully keep his board presence low. And he goes ahead and swings 5 here. I go ahead and take this because I need just more cards and I'm hoping to get triggers. It looks like off of that I got the Enel. And he goes ahead and he plays the 4-cost 5k Film Law that does -2k on play, bringing my Holy down to 3k, and then he bottom decks it with effect, plays Hachi or Sachi and Penguin, and goes ahead and ramps 2. Pretty good for Law using his Heart Pirates to keep up. But I do have the Gadatsu, which is great for me. He's got 4 life. That's why I chose not to swing on turn 2, because I wanted to be able to clear whatever he plays. I swing 5 because now I got to start like hacking away at his life because I can't let him get too far ahead. He goes ahead and takes it, and I'll pass it back over to him. Here's the thing about this Law though, they never really get past their 7 Don, so he's at 5, and let's see what he decides to do here. I'm just hoping whatever he plays is a 3-cost, because I did pull another Gadatsu off of life, so I want to be able to just clear whatever he throws at me. I believe I got a Gadatsu here. I can't even really tell. Go 6. I don't want to counter this. I want to get low, so that way I can actually just start spamming triggers. Oh yeah, no Gadatsu in hand, but I did pull an Amaru, which is good because everything in his deck is about 4-cost, so it's able to actually rest anything he throws out. He Gordons my Gadatsu, leader effects. Nope. Oh, he leader effects now. Yep. And then bottom decks it and establishes the Searcher Law. This one is if your opponent has, I believe, more Don than you, on attack and on play, you can search the top 5 for Heart Pirates. He plays Zoro, and he goes ahead, he swings 5 in, and I get a nice Shura trigger. I go ahead and tell him that I'm resolving Shura first, and then I resolve Enel. So I get the Gadatsu off of the Shura search, and I drop a Shura to get a life back off of Enel's effect. And there I go, I draw into another Gadatsu, and I'm like, this kind of sucks because he only has 3 life, so I can't pop his 4-cost. But I do decide I put pressure on him by going into the Zoro, hoping he'll drop some counter. Because I know he wants to be as wide as possible, so I go ahead and I get a 2k out of his hand. I tap 2 to Amaru, I rest, or I give the 3k to Shura and I rest his Law. And I go 5 into either the Law or the Zoro, I don't remember which one. But I'm still just trying to get cards out of his hand, and he does counter out. And then I get Gadatsu to pop the Law anyways, because I don't want him to get free searching. And I just, clear his board and bring his hand down, which is kind of what the plan was that turn. I might lose the Shura, but he technically could have game if all of his attacks go off, so I would like to see what he decides to do here. It looks like he only has 3 cards in hand, and I have about, let's see, convenient that I just started fanning my hand out. I have 7, so he could drop a 4-cost Law here and actually rip 2 cards out of my hand. But let's see, I guess he doesn't have it. He decides to go 6 into life. I give him a 2k because I don't want to sit at 0 life at the end of my turn. I take the 6 from Zoro, and it's a trigger. Let's see if I decide to use it. It is a Sanji. So I resolve Sanji first, and then I do Enel. Discard Gadatsu off of Sanji, discard Holly to get the Enel effect. So now I'm at a pretty safe spot. I got a bunch of cards in hand, but I don't want him to take this last life from me. He rests 2 because I think he wants to clear board here, and he's thinking about who he wants to Fire Fist, if he wants to go after the Sanji or the Gadatsu. I think he's just deciding if he wants to defend hard or if he wants to get rid of my defense. So he goes and he hits the Sanji with a -4, putting him down to 1k. Yep, he decides on the Sanji. And then he law effects to -3 and bottom deck the Sanji. And then he goes 5 in, and I go ahead and 1k counter. It's a little late to do a Holy combo in this part of the game, because at this point I just want to start dropping my big bodies. I forgot to get my Don, but I do swing 5 into Zoro, and he lets it go. He only has 2 cards in hand. I play Yamato, so that way I can go ahead and pop his 4 cost and heal. Then I swing 6 to see if he'll take it, and he does. And I have a Katakuri in hand, so I was okay with bringing him lower to the 4 cost range. So at this stage, if he doesn't hit my life, I can clear any body that he drops, and if he does hit my life, I have the Katakuri to remove any possible threat. Alright, let's see what he decides to do here. So it looks like he's thinking about going 6, but if I think he says at this point that it's kind of late for him to go after board, because I can easily defend it, so he's going to go for life here. So he goes 6 into life. I go ahead and take it because I have 2 life. And let's see what I rip off the top. It looks like a trigger. And I'm deciding if I want to use it. I don't use it, and it looks like it was the Amaru because I put it behind the first card in my hand. Yeah, I didn't want to resolve this and lose both my Katakuris for no reason, and I was thinking if he plays any 4 costs or lower here, I can go ahead and just rest it and apply more pressure to his hand. So he uses the Fire Fist to bring my Gadatsu down to 2, and he goes ahead and he goes Law Effect, plays the Sachi and Penguin, and ramps 2 Rested Dawn. And now we're back here, and I'm like, okay, well, I have 10 Dons, so I can do the Amaru, and I can do Katakuri. So I Amaru, give the 3k to Shura, rest the Sachi Penguin, and I swing 5 into it, so that way I can keep pressuring his hand. I think he might counter out of this to save his life. Yes, he does. And I go ahead and swing 5 again, and he lets it go. And I'm like, I'm totally cool with playing the slow game here. It does not bother me at all. I Katakuri, put Shura at the top of my life, face up, and my little OCD just put the cards in the same direction, and I pass it back to him. Now he has to commit multiple cards to actually clear these big bodies, so I actually feel like these stick, and I just think like the law here is in a very unfavored position. I think in the beginning when he was going very wide, it was really good, but I dealt with his hand and his bodies, and it was just easy for me to, you know, get to this safe spot of my 1 life, and it's never gonna go down because I have everything. Off the Shura trigger, I do take the Enel because I want to be able to, if I have the opportunity, just to go for game. I'm out of Amarus, and I know if he blockers up, it's gonna be rough for me. With only 4 cards in hand, his law can't actually rip cards out. And let's see what he decides to do here. He has 4 Rested Dawn. He could bottom deck my Shura, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and do that. -3, and he plays another Law. So now I have to get 2 swings in, but he's got 2 blockers. But I luckily did pick up that Enel, so let's see how we decide to play this here. I go 5 into life, and he 1k counters. I go 8 into life, because I see he has no cards. I don't want to commit Dawn here. He Law blockers it. I go into life again with Yamato. And he's deciding if he takes this or not. This is rough for him because he knows I have the rush card, but he knows like no matter what, something is happening. But he could also get a card that saves him. But he goes ahead and he blocker laws this, and I just rest 7, and I go Enel, 7 in, and he takes a life with no cards in hand. And let's see, he draws, and he goes up to 3 Dawn, and let's see what he decides to do here. Honestly, it's not a good position. I don't think there's any card that gets him out of this. Not to get 3 swings. He need like double rush Zoro. Oh, and he just drops it. yeah, he couldn't play the queen, and he couldn't do anything with the gamma knife. But yeah, it was a good game. It was really fun. This matchup is pretty fun, and it looks like it's very hard for the Law. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what your favorite deck is. Peace.